The Yorkshire Coastcast with Paddy. Loving life in Yorkshire. The people, the places.
Hi there, this is Paddy and welcome to episode 74.
This is the cast.
And in this special podcast, we find out everything you need to know about the new Moving Together initiative, helping carers look after themselves more. A partnership between Age UK, Carers Plus Yorkshire and Everyone Active. Now, we've got the seagulls sound effects on the opener to this podcast, but I've also got my window open here on the South Cliff in Scarborough, and I can hear them outside as well. So I'm being completely overrun by the sound of gulls as we record episode 74 of the Yorkshire Coastcast podcast. Now, if you are a carer, age 16 or over, then this is the episode for you. You might know a carer who would benefit greatly from finding out all the info that we've got in this particular episode. See, there's a new project called the Moving Together Project, funded by the York and North Yorkshire Mayor David Scaife and administered by North Yorkshire Sport. It's a collaboration between Age UK, Carers Plus Yorkshire and Everyone Active. And it's all about the benefits of getting moving, basically. Because if you are a carer, and there's so many amazing carers here on the Yorkshire coast, you spend so much time caring, you're putting your own health needs and requirements on the back burner. And this could be having a pretty negative effect on you. In fact, we know, because of research, that it is doing exactly that. And if you're not in good condition, you're not going to be able to care as well, are you? But it may feel like support out there is hard to find. You're spending so much time caring after all. Well, let's find out all about this Moving Together project. First couple of people you'll hear from are Jenna Wheatman, who is a sports therapist, and firstly, Steve Carr, who is the social prescribing wellbeing manager at Age UK in Scarborough. We sat down around their meeting table on a rather balmy afternoon to discuss this project.
Well, this project was born really from data that I've been collecting over a lot of years, and it really shouted to me that carers in general, who they don't like to be called carers as well, some of them unpaid or paid, are the most marginalised in society, and often they neglect their own health and well-being really to look after the care for. So I wrote the bid around to the MAS, David Scaife and North Yorkshire Sport, who are the facilitators of this. And really with that in mind, because I've seen it week in, week out, so it's putting something back in for them. And I know you could put all sorts back in for them, but I thought exercise, because it releases those feel-good hormones. It gives them something to focus on instead of the 100% caring duties. I get that. And for that, it's a twofold project that involves Carers Plus from the outset. They identify the carers at source. So they're the ones that are seeing these carers neglect themselves, if you like. And then with a referral to Jenna, our service, our movement practitioner, she's amazing. Jenna makes an initial call and assessment and assesses them as a person holistically on tailoring a movement and exercise sessions to them based on their needs. Once that's initiated and the sessions are moving along at a nice pace, then the conversation shifts towards Martin Russell at Everyone Active, and that's the next phase of the project. And really what that really enables the carer to do is have a connection with other carers at the centre and perhaps put other things that we can't do, like with machines, gym and swim. There's also machines that do half the work for you as well at Everyone Active, and that enables them to access those at a very reduced price and a free 3 months membership as well. So what that really initiates, it's a catalyst for them to really put something back in for them to invest in their own health and well-being, help them feel empowered and de-stress as well. It's not the whole answer, but a jigsaw piece that's, I think, fits nicely.
You said you did a bit of research then. What did you discover? Is there a real need for this in this community then?
So basically through social prescribing, I was getting at least 15% of my referrals for carers support. What that said to me is, wow, of the 60 referrals, if that's 10%, 6, there's 9 of them coming through every week for carers support, whatever that may be. And at that point, I identified that a lot of these people just neglect themselves a lot. They are carrying health conditions themselves, and it's really tough, really hard. And that's what really made me think of this project. Hopefully, we've already pre-started. I know this is an official launch, but results are from our previous projects in the community. It really does help people empower themselves with their own health and well-being, sit to stand. They may have back conditions themselves, arthritis, osteoarthritis. Jenna's amazing at that, working with people with pain. So often with people with pain, they don't move anymore, or they move as less as that they can because it causes pain. What Jenna does is initiate sessions that builds movement around pain, so they can still move, but in a certain way, so it reduces that pain, inflammation, etc., etc.
And I guess one thing that carers might find is that they will feel isolated, won't they, a lot of the time? So to have people coming in and supporting them is going to be great, not just for their physical health, but their mental health too.
The words right out of my mouth. When someone invests time in them, what we hope to see is that is quite powerful. When somebody invests their own time into their health and well-being and initiating a change, so it's changing mindsets as well. So with that, with the hope of this project, we're hoping to change a lot of mindsets into this becoming a commission service, hopefully, through good data gathering and seeing where people are actually at in their lives.
And you mentioned it's been supported by the Mayor of York and North Yorkshire, David Scaife.
Yes.
So, and that will obviously help for those people who are getting on board with this then,
Yes,
in terms of cost.
If we didn't have this funding, it wouldn't happen, essentially. So we are delighted that we've been able to, with the help of this funding, being able to initiate such a project. Yeah.
So that is Steve Carr from Age UK. We're also soon going to hear from Martin Russell from Everyone Active. He's the Activity Health and Wellbeing Manager there. And we're also going to hear from Kerry Hesp, who is the Service Development Manager at Carers Plus Yorkshire. So they're all coming up on the pod in this episode. So we'll get the lowdown from all aspects of this project so that you really are getting to know what it's all about and whether it really is going to be a benefit to you or someone that you know who is a carer. Now, as Steve said, Jenna Wheatman is amazing. She is a sports therapist and we had a chat about her role in this project.
So my role is basically helping unpaid carers, so those that are caring for loved ones. That can take a bit of, their own health can take a bit of a back seat. So we're going in and we're just helping them with their basically, health and wellbeing really. So looking at the exercise side of things, so whether they want to improve the strength, mobility, improve confidence, motivation is a big one. I've just saw somebody today, motivation to exercise, it's just not there. We're told how exercise is really good for us. We're told movement is medicine. Where do you start? So this programme's all about that. It's kind of, whether you've exercised before or you haven't, whatever your goals are, this is just, as I say, a little bit of a boost of introducing exercise, whether that's relaxation to start with. If you're caring for somebody, you might not have much time, you might not have energy to exercise, you might be, as I say, really stressed. So this is just all about maybe trying to calm the system down, make you feel better. If you do have a bit of time to do your own sessions, and it might be, as I say, trying to get back to some of the stuff that you used to do, like at the gym or going for running and just building on back, really.
So one of the challenges they might have is they might feel they don't have the time to do it?
But potentially, yeah, if they're having to look after somebody else, and it's like, I've had somebody recently who, they'd go for a walk and 10 minutes later they get a call, can you come back? They're not feeling well. So it can be really hard to kind of get out to a gym somewhere or, get to classes and stuff. So this part is specifically about what can you do at home for your own health, and I kind of call it exercise snacking. So it's like trying to get exercise in regularly throughout the day, but you don't really see it as exercise. It's kind of just, I'll have a cup of tea whilst I'm waiting for the kettle to boil, or I'll just do some little hill raises or something like that. So it's manageable.
And it picks up on a point that carers are so busy caring that they're not caring for themselves.
Yeah.
And they might not even realise that their own health is suffering.
Massively so. So again, it is known that a lot of carers, their own health will drastically sort of like, go down. So, they'll miss their own health appointments because it's all about the person that they're caring for. So, yeah, we don't just talk about exercise, we'll talk about are they getting their own food in, are they getting, good diet, are they drinking plenty, are they getting plenty of sleep, and again, what their stress level is at, and what things we can put in place to kind of help them manage the stress.
So how do people get involved then if they're hearing about this thinking this could be good for me?
So Carers Plus is one way, so they might already be in touch with you if you're on the list. Otherwise you can just get in touch with us, and if you've been a carer for 12 months, you're over 16 in the Scarborough area, then give us a call.
Jenna Wheatman there, and she's so approachable. I was half tempted to say I've got a bit of a bad back. Any suggestions? But I thought, no, let's keep it professional. Paddy, let's keep it professional. But if you do see Jenna, trust me, you will be in fantastic hands. She'll make you feel very, very comfortable, and she'll work out exactly what would benefit you. So as we've heard already, Everyone Active are involved in this. And Martin Russell is the Activity, Health and Wellbeing Manager in this area for Everyone Active. He'll explain where he comes in this project, but firstly, his background.
Well, I've looked after the health and wellbeing side of things for Everyone Active for almost 3 years now. So we look at supporting different groups within our society. So healthy ageing, so doing projects that help support people as they age, people with arthritis, people with health issues, lots of work with our younger people in our community, supporting them, our funded feast activities, exercise referral scheme. So anything that helps people who aren't active become more active, Paddy.
Yeah. And there's this collaboration now, isn't there, with Carers Plus and Age UK. And this is great, isn't it? Just tell us how you will fit into this Moving Together initiative.
Yeah, it's a great project, Paddy. We've already done lots of work with Age UK and Carers Plus previously, who all have that shared goal to support people get more active, regardless of their background or the situation. I think specifically the full-time carers who really, more than any people in society, need that little bit of respite and to make sure they take care of their health and fitness. And we fit in by offering access as part of the funding to any activity at the Sports Village, but we actually offer some sort of one-to-ones, that initial onboarding, support in the gym, support accessing the first session, so that it's a little bit more of a handhold rather than just walking into a leisure centre. And it's just taking their health concerns into consideration, and it's just making sure that we can support them on the journey of the membership and make sure it's helping improve their health and well-being, really.
Yeah, and anything is better than nothing, isn't it, when it comes to getting yourself moving? So, it's not as if you need to, go gung-ho when it comes to all this fitness stuff. I mean, it's just something is better than nothing, and the difference that could make to your physical well-being and your mental well-being when you are a carer, the benefits are huge, aren't they?
I think, that's exactly right. I've just had a conversation with a couple of people on this project who have started already, and they just had to gauge where they were at rather than going in to exercise 100 miles an hour. They've decided just to do one of the public swim sessions, just because they had a bit of a love for swimming from previous, and just doing 5 or 10 lengths, having a chat with a couple of other people on the project. So that's social wellness, and things like talking about their recovering, how it affects their sleep, and how it's helped by just starting to move a little bit more, and just learning to pace themselves at the start, and then they're gradually going to increase and do more activities over the 6 months.
And we've already heard as well how this is open to people who are over 18. So it's not, even though Age UK are involved, it's not just for people of a certain age, is it? This is for anyone who's caring, who might just be putting their own well-being and physical health on the back burner while they do an amazing job of caring for someone in their life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's 18 plus this project. Age UK, through their instructors as well, they have the expertise to support people of all ages. But yeah, we're finding, I know over the years, people who are doing that really important caring role in the 20s, who are potentially letting their own health, well-being, mental health slide, if you like. So yeah, it's definitely helping people sort of upstream so that they can look after their health long term, especially when they're caring for someone who's close to them.
All right, well, thanks for your time, and hope it goes really well, this initiative. Like you say, you're already getting stuck in, so I hope that's all going well and continues to do so.
That's great, Paddy. Yeah, thanks for that, mate.
Martin Russell there from Everyone Active. So we'll now hear, finally, from Kerry Hesp, who is Service Development Manager at Carers Plus Yorkshire. Of course, they work very, very closely with carers in this area, and she explains a little more in depth their role in this project.
So our unpaid carers, often what we find is they put their health comes second to the person that they're caring for, sometimes even third and fourth. They will miss health appointments, they will forget about their own health and well-being, and quite often end up feeling quite lonely and isolated. Sometimes the person they're caring for may not have the opportunity to be going outdoors or being mobile, so they're feeling quite lonely and isolated at home. We actually know that one of the biggest killers in the UK is loneliness and isolation. It's that factor that nobody has eyes on somebody. So part of this is, as Carers Plus, what our role within the Moving Together project is to find those hidden carers who may benefit from somebody coming to them and not them going to somebody in the first place, to just be able to get them moving, get them to think about their own body, getting them to think about nutrition, their food, sleep, their own health and well-being, and putting that first. We'll often say to unpaid carers, if they don't actually put themselves first at some point, if they fail, everything fails. So they do have to have an eye on them.
Yes, absolutely. I imagine one of the things that you will come across is people feeling guilty if they start to think about themselves as well as the people that they're caring for. I've got to look after them. I can't think about myself. I've just got to get on with it because it's all about caring. Do they feel guilty if they start, thinking about themselves?
100%. One of probably some of the biggest emotions that we come across within a caring role is guilt. And it is that one, like exactly what you've just said is, but I can't do that because, it may even be that they've both been, say if we're talking about a married couple, they both may have been quite active in their time. And if one or the other of them becomes less mobile, the other person might feel guilty because they are going out and going for a walk or doing something for them. But quite often is that then feeds into their more mental health. It will fold into that feeling lower. So part of our role is to say is, you do have to put a focus on you because, again, as we know, is sometimes when you are actually, if we are fit and healthy and we are more active, those endorphins are released. It's, those feel-good endorphins. And that can then in its own way project onto the person they're caring for. And the good thing about the work that's been done through Age UK, that Steve Carr and Jenna and the rest of the team are looking at is that they will also come to the home and do some movement work with the cared for as well. So actually, quite often, it can bring two people together, even within a home where they're doing things and giving both of them that opportunity to be fit and healthy.
And what we should say as well is, obviously, and this has been mentioned, in the other interviews that I've done, yes, Age UK are doing this initiative, but this is for carers who are sort of 18 plus, isn't it? So we're not just talking about people of a certain age. This is for any adults really who are caring.
Yeah, and this is it, I think we can put a focus sometimes on thinking that it's somebody who's older, who's a little bit mobile, a little bit anything like that. But often actually we've got younger generations who, again, those, we will use the delightful words of COVID, that caused a lot of social anxiety within our younger carers who maybe were young carers during that and, weren't able to interact within schools, within colleges and things like that, missed out on those vital years. So as they've got older, their actual confidence of maybe stepping through the door of a gym or being in a group scenario with a fitness group, even if it's just going out for a walk or a run or anything, or they may think is, I'd really like to try this, but I aren't confident enough, and I don't want to look silly. I don't want to look, I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want people looking at me. So sometimes by somebody coming in and building that confidence up to say, actually, you can achieve this, and what about this? And then that's amazing how that links into Everyone Active and within all their groups that they do. It's looking at, well, actually, if you build your confidence, what about coming to this class? What about coming to the gym, and we can do a personal, we can show you how to use the kit. So it is again about building somebody's confidence to step out and into the community and be part of something that isn't just about your health. It isn't just about fitness, but it is about making those links with new people, meeting different people. I myself used to actually work in a gym. So I am a big advocate of health and fitness, and a big advocate of the community that brings with you and how supportive that can be.
Yeah, and how great is it to get the organisations together to make this happen? That must be really good, and perhaps, we see more of that, organisations in the area coming together.
Absolutely. We have a really good sort of working relationship with several organisations, and Age UK and Everyone Active. We've worked alongside Everyone Active on our Restology partnership that we offer at Carers Plus, which is about getting local businesses to look at what they can offer our unpaid carers at a discount or anything like that. So Everyone Active have been part of that for quite a while. But Age UK as well, I do think is, why should we just look at one part of what we do? When one part of this cog, we can't do all the other bits. But actually, if we can work together with other organisations where we can do something that builds a model that works amazingly, and those collaborative working ends up being that we found the hidden carers. We're saying, this is available. Please look into this, please access this. This will help you. It will help reduce their anxiety. It will help them with their own health and fitness, help them feel better, get them out. But we can't necessarily deliver that because we aren't qualified to deliver that side of things. But within Age UK, they have that package. They can start to do the home. They've got the time, the patient, not just the patients, that's sorry the wrong way, but they've got the time and the people to be able to go and do that then leads them to hopefully then accessing Everyone Active and going into a group environment or going into a more community environment. So the whole, from us, Age UK, to Everyone Active, that pathway through that is absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, I love collaborative work.
Well, thanks so much for your time, and hope it all goes really well. It's a great initiative. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paddy.
Well, hopefully that has given you a bit of an insight into this new initiative, the Moving Together project, bringing together Age UK, also Everyone Active and Carers Plus Yorkshire. If you do want to find out more, you can pop into Age UK on Aberdeen Walk in Scarborough, number 39 Aberdeen Walk in Scarborough. You can also contact Carers Plus Yorkshire. They're at carersplus.net, carersplus.net. North Yorkshire Sport, who are involved as well, you can find them at northyorkshiresport.co.uk, and you can find out more at Everyone Active as well at the Scarborough Sports Village. And we'll put the links in the description on this podcast.
The Yorkshire Coastcast. The people, the places.
Well, thanks for listening to episode 74. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcast from, and we'll join you on the next episode.
The Yorkshire Coastcast.
Loving life in Yorkshire.